Hi friends, when Nelson Mandela came out of prison from Robben Island after 27 years, the first place he came was Londolozi Game Reserve. And he spent a week with me in my house, just him and 2 bodyguards. And we were on a game drive, and the radio went, "Mr. Mandela returned to base, urgent, urgent, urgent." And we could tell from the radio call that something serious was going on. We raced back to base camp, and there was a message to phone Cyril Ramaphosa. And it turned out that Cyril Ramaphosa was under a table, and he was dodging the bullets because the RVB, the radical right-wing group, had driven a military truck through the windows of the trade center. Their basic idea was to disrupt those peace talks. It was just at the time that the apartheid was disintegrating and the power was shifting to the ANC. It was a momentous occasion, and Cyril Ramaphosa was basically urging Madiba to mobilize Umkhonto weSizwe. And I was standing there. Mr. Mandela was talking on one of the old phones, the cord phones, but I could hear the shots going into the trade center through the telephone. Mandela slammed the phone down and he gave me a little notebook and he said, "Get me de Clarke right now." And I remember his hand was shaking. And I phoned Mr. de Clarke. Nelson Mandela didn't even greet him. He just said to him, "De Clarke, I'm giving you 2 hours to get the situation under control. If you don't get that situation under control, I'm mobilizing Umkhonto weSizwe." And I was standing there, wide-eyed. This is the start of the Civil War. And then Mandela turns to me and he says, "Get me a helicopter." Mandela was hyped. He was grey. He was shaking. He was angry. And I said to him, "What do you want a helicopter for?" He says, "I'm going to fly into the trade center." I used to call him Mr. Mandela. I was very polite. But this time I said, "Mandela, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You spent 27 years on Robben Island, and it's going to be wasted with 1 bullet from some RVB lunatic." And Mandela just lost it. He screamed at me. He said, "Don't tell me what to do. You get me the helicopter and get it right now." I went into another room and I phoned my friend Buzz Besaidenout, who's got quite a few helicopters. I said, "Buzz, can you get me a helicopter?" He said, "No, he's stupid. They're all over the trade center. CNN's got one, BBC's got one. They're all flying over the trade center." He says, "Who wants a helicopter?" I said, "Nelson Mandela." He said, "Oh my God." He said, "Don't let him go near that place. It's dangerous. Bullets are flying in military trucks." So he says, "I can't get you a helicopter." And I remember looking through the door, and Mandela had his head in his hands. He was shaking like this. He was rocking forward and backwards. He was under enormous stress. And we sat there for about 15 minutes. And then he came through to where I was sitting. And I'll never forget, he stood above me and I was sitting in the chair. And he's a tall guy, so I was looking right up at him. And he had calmed down, and I'd also calmed down. And he said, "John, what do you suggest?" And I said, "Mr. Mandela, go to your house." He had a house in Lower Houghton. "Go to your house and I will organize a film crew to come to your house and just talk to the nation. Calm everybody down, because this thing could explode into a civil war. Just calm everybody down." And he looked at me, and I'll never forget, I said to him, looking up at him, I said to him, "Mr. Mandela, remember one thing. the Avia beer do not represent the whites of South Africa. And that one line hit a chord with him. And he thought for quite a while, 20 seconds. And then he shook my hand. It was a great, great gesture. Shook my hand and he said, "John, cancel the helicopter." Some of the sweetest words I've ever heard in my life. I organized the King Air to fly in, take him out, and 3 hours later I turned on the TV and he was on television. And those exact words that I used, Mandela said in the TV interview. The Avia beer do not represent the whites of South Africa. We will be performing Don Clarke's new song, Mandela Don't Go In, on Friday night at the concert. Be the first time it's ever been performed. It's brilliant. I can tell you, don't miss it. See you on Friday night, 5 o'clock. I'm JV. Tread lightly on the earth.
Mr. Mandela, listen to me. You are a hero. You set us free. But this is one time you will not win. Don't go away. Don't go away. An ANC convention, Johannesburg downtown. A fiery and restless crowd. The RVB were seething, they broke the windows down. Gunshots in the building, chaos all around. Mandela stood beside me, many miles away. Angrily he turned to me to say, "Get a helicopter right now, I know where I must be. My people are in trouble," Cyril's crying out to me. But I knew if he went to that place, by the end of the day he could be dead. So I mustered all the courage I could raise, looked him straight in the eye and said, "Mr. Mandela, listen to me. You are a hero, you set us free. But this is one time you will not win. Don't go away, don't go away. Mr. Mandela, all whites you see aren't represented by the RVB. To risk your life is a foolish thing. Don't go away, don't go away, don't go away, please don't go away." My words had served to calm him, he thanked me for my time and flew off back to Joburg with a plan. Later on I watched him speaking on TV, and as I did I heard my words coming back to me. He said, "Not all of the whites in this land are represented by the RVB. I was only pleased that I had played a hand, and proud that he had listened to me." Mr. Mandela, listen to me. You are a hero, you set us free. But this is one time you will not win. Don't go away, don't go away. Mr. Mandela, all whites you see aren't represented by the RVB. To risk your life is a foolish thing. Don't go away, don't go away. Sigile.